Didn't click record. Yeah, it's definitely a time to authenticate your aliveness, I think, isn't it? Especially coming through this eclipse season. Oh my God. Oh, I've been at the point of screaming SOS at one point and waving the white flag.
I think we'd all have been there with you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. Somebody's got to wave the flag.
Is it the full moon tomorrow or the day after as well?
Tomorrow and the day after. It runs over about 2 days.
That moon is spectacular.
Is it? I haven't seen it today.
It's
Saturday.
It's really big, and it's low down on the well, it's not actually on the horizon, but it's about there in the middle of the window, and low down, and covered in clouds as usual. But you can see it's the moon.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay.
The next thing is, what is it?
What is what? Whether it's the moon or not? I think it might be the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just every time I hear anything, it's different from before.
I think just trust your own gnosis on it, and then I'm sure it will kind of turn out to be whatever it's meant to be for you.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. I'm just gonna message Teresa. Oh. Yeah, it's very tight in the fields at the moment. It's quite uncomfortable feeling. So we're just going to go really, really nice and easy tonight until this second eclipse is gone. We'll just go and do what we can. But primarily during these kind of heightened gate sequences, these gate periods, it can become a bit too much to actually go inward or go into work. So it's just a case of kind of identifying what's right for you and your body and what you can tolerate and handle. And if it is too impactful, then retreat, pull yourself back and seal your energy system up, really. And there we go. There she is. Yeah, that's not at the audio sort of quarter. My little dog's having a brush right now, and he's making this really funny noise, and it's like. I don't think he particularly likes it, but it does sound like almost like a little unicorn or some kind of like gerbil. Maybe not that time, that sounded like pain, but doesn't like the brush. Is it done now? Yeah, good. Okay. We can begin now. Sirius's hair grooming session is over. So okay guys, let's jump straight into it. Let's just run a quick meditation. Does anybody want to start a meditation sequence here? No? Got freedom if you wish to bring something in, so just let us know. But first and foremost, we'll just connect to the blue ray and expand as water through the vertical horizontal axes, washing through the chakra system, clearing and purifying energy system, and the 15-dimensional time matrix, the multiple yes or quarter. Inhale, breathing in the water. Exhale, allowing the dissolution of stagnation. Heaviness. and just allowing that water to wash up underneath the feet. We're going to take it up through the scalar wave. Wash through the DNA and then just start to clear and wash out the lenses. Unclogging the heart, the chest. Yatras mana atya pura. As it processes through, just feeling the body becoming ultra, ultra light. And we're going to use this water as a kind of continual purifying membrane to sit around your sphere. And in between the multi-layered tiers of Atya Manas Ma'okabora. Of the interdimensional layers of your sphere. And within that, we're then gonna just begin to spin light to refract through the water molecules, creating a hexagonal crystal iridescent grid templating. Shields of protection within blue diamond plasma water. And we're going to use that information just to transform the body into water, where we can move through the ether as water particles dropping into the atmosphere of the rainforest. just sitting within the humidity of the canopies. And we'll just sit suspended within the humidity layers of the fields at the moment, the humidity or the water. And let's just radiate within that space at the moment. And observe the process of the water molecules, of the particles of water. Quite a lot of pain through the chest here. And as we connect into this layer, the initial kind of perspective that I'm getting within it is that it acts almost as a transference of emotional information and memory to pass through into the plant life, which then becomes almost restored or rebalanced through the plant life and through the earth body. It also feels as if the trees are acting as a kind of I want to say storage center. It's not a storage center, but it's almost like it holds space for the emotion to pass through. and the humidity layers is almost acting like a cloud, or like an iCloud kind of thing, or it's not an iCloud because it's organic, but it's acting as like a storage system to be downloaded of information. Which is then showing me the bioengineered levels, which would come in through, say, HAARP modification kind of machines, which create an AI kind of artificial template that runs a disruption through the earth field. It runs chaos through the elemental bodies, because that then interacts with the public or people and creates imbalance within their own elemental body or elemental bodies. So as we bear witness to this new understanding as to what is the mechanics of weather and the earth, we can then gain more of an understanding as to how we also interplay as a system that downloads and moves different types of information through the bioelectric system and into the earth. So as we all connect as the water particles within humidity, perhaps we can work to dismantle as much of the heaviness as we can within the humidity, within the cloud, by experiencing breathing and processing. And working with the source light fields to pulsate as crystal iridescent light. Blue diamond plasma and pale gold yellow. Connecting to the infrastructure. Okay, and just feel the energy of the trees connecting up into the cloud, acting as an anchor point. Okay, so some of the things that I'm kind of seeing and connecting with here within the cloud are that of famine, that of kind of not persecution but infiltration, and colonization. War. And as these things become identified, they begin to break down. You'll notice within your own body, depending on how sensitive you are, you can feel the shifts and changes when you identify what it is that is processing through your system. And just as well, at the same time, seeing the DNA, double helix presentation of DNA, one strand in green, one strand in yellow, intertwining and overlapping, spinning, unlocking and clearing. You just feel all of the spine unlock in this moment, the spine and the lungs, particularly through the left side body. Metallic casing around the lung and sternum and ribcage. That feels like it's connected into the HAARP, the heart system. And creating almost like a gridlock. of emotion. And when we break that down even further, there's like an interplay of polarity between like a fear and not a polarity, sorry, more like a similarity actually. So it's like an interplay between fear and aggression. Mm. Emotional limitation. And I've just got a picture up on the screen at the moment. We're just going to connect into this pool of water. And as we connect in, we're just going to pull in the magenta diamond ray, magenta crystal ray, whatever you want to call it. And just see that extend up into that cloud of humidity as well, as it's running through your own body, your own emotional body, and running through every molecule of water within your system. Feel that liquid light just restore your own body. But also take it up into the collective field. Seeing a manta ray here. I feel like we're connecting into the Pacific Ocean, Lemuria, and the Honolulu, Hawaii systems there. Madrasmas na Akiakura. Tribal body. In doing so, igniting memory. of the ways of the tribes, the ways of the tribal body, methods, means, practices, full memory recall. Opening and updating to the morphogenetic fields. Just uploading the information of almost feels like the tribal ways of living. And the original plan of the earth, really, it was the original earth plan of living, really. But there's also an interception here with the divine plan as well, the Christic plan. That once was, but also was lost along the way. And then just moving into fuller expansion. We're going to take this to update through all of the fields. And just bring ourselves back to the point of the Amazon River. And just start seeing that cloud open. And pour the rain back through the trees, back through into the river. Bringing moisture and lubricant to the soil, into the waterbed. Back to life force. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing the screen at the moment and we can go to and from. Well, I would like you all to kind of share your experience. That's what you choose. Bit of a free-for-all kind of day without any plan as such.
So, Felix, were there any gnomes there?
Were there-
Gnomes.
Gnomes.
Sorry?
Gnomes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there will be. Absolutely. I didn't personally see any gnomes. I was seeing like the network that was the operating system that was running between the clouds and the weather and how that was interrelating with the Earth body, how it was kind of passing information through. So it was almost like the technical interface between the different elements is what I was kind of tuned into within that. But if you saw gnomes, then yeah, absolutely. What was it that you were feeling with them?
Well, especially in the the picture with all the water in,
Mm-hmm.
and it was there was a waterfall here,
Mm-hmm.
and there was something watery here, and there was
Yeah.
something in between that you couldn't really see. So I went underneath that bit of water, and I didn't actually see any gnomes, and I'm not sure if they were gnomes or not. But I got a
Okay.
sort of gnomey sort of feeling.
You got a lot of know me sort of feelings. I mean, yeah, definitely, because what we're doing there is tuning into the elemental body, really, aren't we? And they do sit within the earth elemental field.
So I don't know whether they were gnomes or whether there was something else, or whether I just imagined it. There's a leaf on this left-hand side
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
just looks like a big leaf.
Yeah, this one here.
Yeah, except it's very strongly got a big nose and eyes and facial features.
Right, okay.
And then
Mhm.
and then there's a lot of brown sort of figures.
Mhm.
And one of them is they've got a grand sense of humor, these whatever they are.
I would
And
say that they are actually gnomes, and I do think whenever you kind of start questioning yourself, it is just a case that you're questioning in your in the information that's coming in. So it shows you layers of distrust within yourself. Whenever you kind of pick up and say, oh, maybe it's just my imagination, absolutely, yes, it's the imagination, because the imagination is the gateway to the spiritual side. So yeah, that is accurate. So what you're picking up on is there, and it is accurate.
that's great fun. So they're very humorous sort of characters anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I got all this watery feeling, and it was great because it's watery outside as well at the moment, and the moon's well watery, and so it's a grand sort of experience of water. And I got this sort of like geometric. It's like being inside a geometric football.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was blue, or it was something watery anyway.
Right.
This
So
sort of sorry.
That's what we were kind of doing at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are seeing what we were discussing at the start, what was being brought forwards at the start. So yeah, absolutely.
Oh, thank you very much, Felix.
Yay, no worries. Congratulations. Yeah, that's really good. Who wants to go next? Looking at you, Syra.
Okay. I volunteered. Yeah, I felt it's linked into several things that have come in for me in the last couple of days, which is interesting.
Mhm.
There was kind of like a weaving. I mean, the picture that you were painting of the steamy wrist and things like that. Exactly, we've had exactly that here over the last 24 hours. It's like the water vapor is like steam coming up out of all of the woods and forests around here.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just it's laden with information, and so but within that I was seeing safe spaces being braided. It's like something within the water, you know, the knowledge held, the wisdom held within the water, with the trees and the plants and the new information, the new light information coming in. It was weaving safe spaces for the exhausted elementals to kind of like recharge. It was like, you know, kind of like safe places where the likes of harp couldn't get them.
Yeah.
Well, so they could recharge and sort of go back to trying to hold the integrity of what was there that was under attack. There was this immense sense of this network of yeah, just really trying to hold against this barrage that was trying to pick it apart. And an unbraiding at one point, I found myself helping to unbraid between organic and artificial signals, as it were, coming through. What else was there? There was so much in it. I connected into the myrrh, and then it was just before you talked about the manta and then Lemuria and things like that. The myrrh came through really strongly. I've not connected into them before, so that was interesting. I don't know. There's so much in there. I can't pull it all out.
Yeah, I mean, there really was in that one today. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I find that really interesting about the safe haven space, because when you were saying that, I was actually seeing this almost as like pockets of information that was being stored just to be delivered at the right time for it to kind of move through the network of the earth to then come into the different nodal points where it's meant to sit. Almost feels like the information is kind of being echoed, but held. So it's being held within like the trunks or within the root systems, and then being echoed out to the other parts of the earth to connect in that way. So yeah, that's really interesting. Lovely. That was good. Go on, Dean. Give me your goods.
Yeah, I was not long after you said about the magenta rate. I was like picking up a poisonous gas, while like the air molecules were like kind of poisonous.
Okay.
And also tribal warfare.
Yeah.
Karma, like it's kind of karmic and been passed down and played over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was kind of seeing at the start with the tribal warfare as well.
And that like information is like through the rain and that catching the ground and the trees and, you know, keeping it stagnant.
It's almost like forever being recycled until it's been observed. Right. Yeah, definitely. It's interesting. I want to open this poisonous gas thing that you brought up. That sounds really interesting to me. Where does it come from?
That was just like a thought that popped in my head, but it might have just been because we were talking about the air, like and being magenta and that. So, or it could be like a acronym of something else. I'm not sure.
Well, the thing that's kind of popping into my own mind at the moment is the nerve gas thing that's just been kind of spoken about with in the Middle East. So the
I've
use
heard
of
about that. Right.
yeah, I just saw it before I jumped on here. Is the use of nerve gas
Okay.
on within the tunnels of Palestine. But we won't go too far into that right now because that's opening up a whole kettle of fish that I don't think I can handle right today. But yeah, that kind of nerve gas, I actually think that had potentially been used to the tribal bodies over colonization.
Yeah.
Or yeah, that's kind of what I feel like that's connecting in with. And even now as I'm kind of tuned into it, I'm actually seeing it happen, but I'm also seeing different kinds of gases used to smoke them out as well. And then I'm just seeing the Earth body excrete the information, and the central nervous system of the planet almost run a vibration of release into a regeneration or a regenesis vibration, just to repair it a little. So yeah, no, that feels quite significant actually, because I'm feeling my whole body release now. So yeah, no, I definitely feel truth in that. Interesting. Nice one. Anything else?
No, that's it, mate.
Right. Okay. Who wants to go next? I'm looking at 5 of you. That's quite a broad number.
What fascinates me about this, Felix, is the root system of all of that. And I've just been fixed these last 5 minutes on just the root system. You know, we can see a vast amount of foliage on the on the top of the soil, but underneath, it's just the information that's being shared and passed between the trees must be just incredible. They're drawing down all this, all the air and the life of the air down through through the topsoil into the deeps of the soil into the earth. This kind of symphony between the air and the air and the earth, or the heavens and the earth. And that little picture in on the bottom film strip in the center, I know it's a reflection in the water, but it was that triggered me off into considering the root picture. Yeah, that one there.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's just a perfect image of kind of as above, so below.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you go back to the main picture that we were looking at, where is it? Yeah, I'm fascinated by on the far left of in the center, far left. There's this circuit. No, right over to the left, a bit up. Yeah, this circular, like a donut, and it's as if it's accelerating as your hand is describing it, round and round, and that gives the sense of this great motion between the and it's as if out of the dark center, you know, there's this plume of energy coming out of it. So yeah, I'm just fascinated by this, the way the trees are drawing in the life out of the air, and the air meets the water in the ground.
Oh yeah, definitely. With this one, this little vortex here,
Yeah.
I'm seeing so many things within it. I'm seeing, number one, I'm seeing a woman's face right in the middle, or the head and neck of a woman. And then as you pan out, I'm seeing a chameleon.
Yeah.
And then if you go out even further, there's almost like an element of wildfires that are burning through here, the way that fire would go if there was like strong wind. And then I've also got like a hurricane
Yeah.
connecting into that.
That's the word I was kind of looking to describe
Yeah.
that.
And
Also,
then, yeah, go on.
I see in there like a sickle shape of the moon, and right on the very far left, and it's holding like the moon within this like semicircle. Where you see the woman's face, I see like the sphere of a moon. Round about it, as I've said, is it a sickle I'm thinking of? Is that the right word?
Yeah, or a crescent.
A crescent, yeah, that
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
for.
So that to me also looks almost like a containment of the moon.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, when she's kind of being held like that, it's almost like something's got the hand on the moon. And this
Yeah.
has been something that's really come back to me over the past few days, is the constriction of the divine feminine, which would also be the moon. And what has kind of connected me in with that was Saturn.
Oh.
So when I've looked over and over again at what it is that's constricting the feminine, it was Saturn. The rings of Saturn always holding a containment field around it. And then when I tuned into it further, there was almost like an electrical current or pulse, electric being the masculine, containing the subconscious. So preventing the subconscious from opening because of this control, limitation, electrical override of the magnetic frequency to expand. So yeah, I mean it's very potent at the moment. And now that we're coming through a lunar eclipse, it's given us this opportunity to start breaking down the constriction of the subconscious, the constriction of that. And this really is the fundamentals of kind of healing and ascension, is to become aware of oneself. But really to do that, we are learning how to unbind the subconscious. We're learning how to unbind the divine feminine to be able to show herself. And as we do that, we're then able to gain more access to more understanding of who we are. And in that process, we can see where all these limitations have been placed upon us, to unravel the feminine.
Did you ever read a book called The Rings of Saturn?
I've never read a book. Last time I read a book, I was in school. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
I just don't read. Every time I try, it just doesn't seem to work. I pick up books, I'll buy books, I'll look at 2 pages, then realize I've got the information that I need, and then I'll put them down and never look at them again. So, yeah.
No, I was just curious if you'd ever worked out where the title came from, because it didn't mention Saturn at any point throughout the book. It was about a man's travels and his attunement into various areas over half a year as he travelled up the eastern coast of England.
Okay. Does it talk about any struggles that he went through during that travel?
It was all about everywhere he went to. He kind of was drawn into every aspect of it and drawn back into the history of everything that was there. And it was a great historical record of a particular part of the country. But he went into so many different areas that at the end of it, he ended up in a mental asylum, and I've never worked out. Well, I had 1 or 2 theories why it was called the Rings of Saturn, but it was just with you mentioning the rings there that kind of that interesting narrative to mind.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if anything, he would be going through to unravel the history within his own psyche as well. So that would be, as he's doing that, but without maybe proper understanding, that those unbindings would be the rings of Saturn releasing.
Yeah, and it was almost as if all this knowledge kind of crushed his awakening, his awake consciousness.
Mm.
Mm.
Well, that sounds like a delightful book.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it doesn't sound that lovely, but good for him for going through the journey. That's for sure. Right. No, that was great, David. Well done. Who wants to go next? Got 4 of you. Don't make me pick on one of you.
Come on, Teresa. Teresa has loads to give. I know it.
She does, doesn't she? Yeah, but since you opened your mouth first, you can give 2.
I don't really have anything. I'm just enjoying what I'm feeling when you're doing your thing. I'm still at that stage.
Okay, so scan the picture.
I can't get past the like when you. I think this is maybe my 3rd session on the grid work.
Okay.
And it takes me like a couple of minutes because I'm at home and my child and my cat is here, and I'm trying to like just switch off, and then I switch off one of the lights, and it's always in sort of my stomach and my chest.
Okay.
That area is quite.
Yeah. So what is your stomach and your chest saying to you then? Because this is actually really significant at the moment for this gateway in this month.
Well, I guess it's just the energy I'm feeling, and it feels quite nice.
Okay.
It's just it's like movement, and I'm like, oh, this is lovely.
Right.
It's like causing me to kind of switch off, but it's quite hot. Like it's just movement. Is the only way I can describe it.
Right. Okay. So
it's busy.
All of this month there's been a big restructuring of power within the solar plexus. And what we've looked at today is how different mechanics have been bound by cyclical patterns of repeating without actually dissolving and breaking them down. So where we've kind of looked into today, we've picked up on tribal warfare, we've picked up on colonization, all of these different things. If you're getting a body response to it, or you're picking up on something, you're going to have energy that's held within that system.
Okay.
And as we've kind of gone through to dismantle it, your essence is starting to become free.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it is important. And over this month, there's been such a powerful solar plexus recalibration, which then also affects everywhere else because the solar plexus is your power center.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to then experience this here, you can see where you've been interplayed and locked up.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
yeah, kind of flow sort of.
Yeah. So maybe you can relate that next time. If your body is having a response to the work that we're doing, or you're being called into something, you can then relate it. Okay, well, maybe I have history within this storyline, within this timeline.
I kind of switch off from the exact point you're at, like when you're describing something, because I might not know the names or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, and then I'm just kind of focusing on the energy, like the effects on my body. So I
Yeah.
probably look into the exact part, then I can sort of start connecting them.
Absolutely.
It just seems so powerful. I never had that feeling with anything, you know, like session. So it's quite strong, and I'm just going, this is great. It's like a bus is running over me or something in a nice way. It's really heavy, you know. It's really wild.
Good.
In that sense, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So what I would just say to that is for you and actually everyone who's sat here is to just pull back your essence, command your essence to come back from these timelines, command your essence to come back and reintegrate. As the history updates and the locking sensation unlocks, you're then able to pull your energy back in and reintegrate yourself from these histories.
Is that a bad thing when I'm feeling?
No.
The effects of...
No, it's just the effects.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the medicine.
Like you need to leave it switched on, or like it's supposed to be? Is that switched on, or
is what switched on?
Like let's say the heaviness of what I would be feeling. Is
No,
that normal?
the heaviness is normal, yeah, because that is where the energy is kind of locked up.
Oh yeah.
So when you're feeling heaviness, it just means that there's a lot of information that needs to be unpacked.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you start taking out this bit of information and understanding it there, pull out the next bit and you understand it over there, and then you pull out the next bit and it actually ends up building together a storyline that may not all link into the same time scale, but it actually interplays within the pattern of your history. Yeah. So if we relate a loss of power or a taking over of the home invasion, you can then scan back through your own personal life where you can see where you've had a kind of maybe like a colonization, take that out of context, but relay it into your own personal section. Have you had difficulties with people coming in and out of your life that are trying to take control and take charge of you without actually authorizing what you want? Right?
Yeah.
So you can see that and then be like, oh, actually, that person did that to me, that person did that. And then you can understand the history into why you've manifested it into the physical life. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. No worries. Okay, Julia, coming to you. Give me the goods.
Okay, so I found, sorry, it's very noisy here. In the humidity cloud, I felt very fluid and I got a real ASMR response through my whole light body. I could feel the denseness of it. And then when you said colonization and warfare, I started to kind of reach out and take out anger and hate and confusion and collapse and dissolve it out. And I could see it change. I could see it go lighter in the humidity cloud. And then when you were talking about the tribal body, I actually saw like a guide come forward and take me into the bushes. But I was kind of looking around as if I'd gone back into another lifetime. It felt really sad, like there was a longing to reconnect with it. And when you were doing the magenta, to me that is still violet flame rays coming in. So there was a full cleanse. It was quite fun, energy cleansing through the waterfall and everything. So that was nice.
Cool. Sounds good. Doing well. Yeah. Nice. I haven't really got anything to say to that. It's good. You're doing really well. Pratibha.
Okay, confession time. I didn't see any of these pictures. I kept my eyes shut the whole way through, and I actually enjoyed everything. I didn't see any of the bad stuff. I was up in the canopies, you know, just enjoying Mother Nature. The drops running down. The trees made like a net for me to just, you know, support me.
Yeah.
And when you talked about the trees, I saw this massive tree, you know, like the mountain-sized trees, and it just seemed to go up forever. And then when you talked about the pink ray coming into our body, I just felt it going through all the waters of the whole world, not just the river. And at the end, it was just so refreshing, you know, with the rainfall. It's like it cleansed everything. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's very, very apt for what you're going through at the moment and needing that kind of rejuvenation. And that was kind of what I was feeling that was going to happen with this session, but for everyone, but then it went completely different as it normally does. But yeah, it was, you definitely got what you came for then today, didn't you?
I did.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, that's great. And you surrendered into it as well. So yeah, you wanted a healing and you got a healing.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. Oh, lovely. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go to Teresa. Last but not least. Give me the goods, Teresa. Can't hear you. You're on mute. Don't think you're getting away that easily.
Oh, I thought I meant to say, oh, it's broken. Okay. Okay, I was the kind of I don't know what I was doing today, but I was everything that came up.
Yeah,
I ended up in the positive of it. It was like,
brilliant.
yeah, I mean, for me, humidity is not a nice thing. I don't like humidity, generally speaking. So we kind of went into the humidity cloud, and then I go, no, it's rain. It's just raindrops coming back. And it was like, everything was like, that wasn't what I felt. It was like I felt the alternative, you know.
Yeah.
Now I did have the one thing when you were talking about the tribal warfare, and it came to me that people were thrown off the top of the waterfall and, you know, into the kind of ravine below or whatever. And I thought, oh, that was horrible. But then the next thing was I was down into the water, and then all of a sudden it related to the safe spaces. I was in a little pocket inside the water, and it was like totally protected. Everything was fine. All hell could break loose all around me, but it was okay because everything was going to be fine in the end, and I'd come back out again. You know what I mean? It was like, I've never had anything like that, but it's nearly like no matter what negative came up, I had the positive. It was
Absolutely.
And I was just there, like I was under that water for so long, and it was like, oh, the water was just washing over me, and it was like, oh, I could just stay here. This is just beautiful, like, you know, and everything will be wonderful. When I come back up, it'll all be fixed, you know.
Oh,
so
wow.
So it was like I was just in a space of my own today. I don't know what happened, but it was just like no matter what negative came up, I was gone somewhere else, much more positive than that, you know.
Well, that's amazing, isn't it, Teresa? I mean,
I was in denial or something. I don't know.
No. If that isn't a message directly to you to say everything that you've gone through, you've always had your hand held, and you've always been in a field of containment, I don't know what is, because that has just told you bang up right there and then you can handle anything. Right, you can handle anything. That's exactly what they're telling you.
Yeah. Well, it was just beautiful. I loved every minute of it now, I have to say. It was just great.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's great. So, oh, lovely. Okay. So yeah, I mean, definitely it's just showed you how protected you are and how looked after you are. And it's just showing you that you've got that ability and you've got it within you. It's just now teaching that to the other aspects of you that are kind of not believing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Holding it out. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So just I would take that message, meditate on it, and start to call up the aspects of yourself that are in denial that you're safe. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely work with that. You can also bring in that magenta ray as well.
Yeah.
I feel and use that light as a tool.
I will.
To contain your energy and kind of build on your own masculine within there.
Yeah.
As you go and confront these aspects of you that don't believe that they're safe.
Yeah.
So yeah, lovely guys. Well, I'm actually gonna have to eat something because I've got a house viewing very soon. So let's pull ourselves back and just turn back into water. And journey back up through the clouds into the atmosphere, run that clean, clear water through the toroidal field of the earth. And through the geometric grid networks, your multiple sort of and then extend back into your own energy, back into your own structure, into your own body. Update through all fields, update through all localized grids. And seal forward now through all levels or layers of light, through all bodies and through the breath of the divine. I am present.
Thank you.
Yay. Brilliant. Well done, guys.
Great. Thank you very much.
Lots of love, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. See you. Bye. Bye.
Felix.
Bye.